Welcome back, young coders. In the previous video, we have covered CSS position and AMP/Z index. In this part of the CSS journey, we're going to explore something magical: pseudo-classes and pseudo-elements. These are special tricks that let you style elements based on their state or specific parts of them. Let's dive in. First, let's understand pseudo-classes. These are like special conditions. They let us apply styles only when something happens. Pseudo-classes use a single colon and are written like this: selector, then colon, then the pseudo-class name. You can add any CSS property inside. For example, a hover changes the link color when a mouse is pointed over any link, and input focus applies styles on input HTML elements when they are focused or selected. Pseudo-classes are like powerful filters. Let's have a look at some useful pseudo-classes. Hover is used to apply styles on element when the mouse is over it. Next is focus. It is used to apply styles on element when it is focused. Example is input. Next is active. It applies style on element when the element is being clicked. Next is visited. It is used to apply styles on links that were clicked before. Want to style only the first or last child? Use first child or last child if you want to apply styles only on it. Even better, use nth-child n to style specific positions like the second or third item. If you want to skip any element, you can use not-selector to styles everything except that selector. With these, your CSS becomes super smart. Now let's meet pseudo-elements. These are even cooler. They let us style specific pieces inside an element, like the first letter of a paragraph, or adding content before or after something using pure CSS. Pseudo-elements use a double colon and are written like this: selector, then double colon, then the pseudo-element name. You can add any CSS property inside. For example, first letter pseudo-element changes only the first letter of the selector element. This style is applied only on first letter of all paragraphs. It's great for creating storybook-style intros or headlines that pop. Just like pseudo-classes help us style based on state, pseudo-elements let us style parts of an element. They give us super fine control without needing extra HTML. Let's see some of the pseudo-elements. Pseudo-elements before and after are used to insert content before or after the element's actual content. If you want to style only the first line or the first letter of the text, you can use first line or first letter pseudo-elements. Placeholder pseudo-element will help you to style the text inside input placeholders. Selection is used to style the highlighted text. If you want to style the bullets or numbers of the lists, you can use the marker pseudo-element. Let's open the website project on default browser. We will try to implement the pseudo-classes and pseudo-elements we have studied today in our portfolio website. The first pseudo-class is hover. It applies style when we put the mouse over an element. This pseudo-class usually applies on navigation bar. Let's try to apply some styles on our navigation items. The navigation links have class name navItem. So we will write the class selector and then a colon for pseudo-class, and then we will write hover as we have studied earlier. I am giving it a background color of gray. Cursor pointer property will change the mouse pointer to a hand. Also, I am giving some border radius and padding. Let's save the changes and see it in action. You can see when we put the mouse cursor above the links, the styles are applying on the nav items. The cursor is also changing to a pointing hand. Let's change this nav item text as well on hover. We want to style the p tag when hovering on nav item. So, we will write nav item ;hoverspace p and write our styles. I want the text color to be changed to gold and the font weight becomes bold so it will become more prominent. Let's save and see the changes. You can see that the text color is now changing to golden and font weight is becoming bold. Isn't it looking cool? Now let's try another pseudo class. I want to style this table rows. I want to apply background color on alternate rows. For this we can use the nth-child pseudo class. We will write table tr then colon and then nth-child. Inside brackets, we can give any number or we can write odd or even here to apply styles on odd or even rows. I am giving a light background color. See, the background color is applied only on odd rows. Let's change odd to even and see what it does. You can see that the style is now applied on only even number rows. You can also use first-child and last-child pseudo-classes if you want to style only the first and last rows of the table. First-child background color was not visible because first row is the header row which already had a background color applied. Let's change it back to nth-child and style only odd rows. Now let's style our HTML form using the pseudo-classes and pseudo-elements. Here we have a pseudo-class called focus. When you click on any input HTML element, this is called focusing. You can see here we have a default black outline. Let's style this using pseudo-class focus. We will write input :focus and then I am writing outline none. This will remove the default outline. Let's save and see it in action. You can see that the default outline is now removed. Now I am giving it a border of 2 pixels solid and teal color. I am also giving it a background color of light gray. Save it and let's see it how it looks. It's looking cool. We can apply the same style on the text area focus too. Let's style this checked status of checkboxes using the checked pseudo-class. For this we will write input and in brackets we will specify type equals checkbox then a colon for pseudo-class syntax and then we will write checked. Let's do the same for input type radio checked status. Let's style the button using hover pseudo-class. On hovering, I want to style it with a background color of teal and the text color should be changed to white. Also, the cursor should be changed as pointer. We have styled our contact form much better than before. Let's do some general styling for all our input elements for a cleaner look. I have given some padding, margin, and width to all input elements. Let's see how it looks. Oops! Other input elements are looking fine, but the width is applied to checkboxes and radio buttons as well, which is making them weird. I want to apply the style on all input elements but not on checkboxes and radio buttons. Here we can use the not-selector pseudo-class. Let's see how it works. After input I have written colon and then not and inside selector brackets, I am giving input checkbox and input radio. This means that apply the style to all input elements except the checkboxes and radio buttons. Now that we have implemented many of the pseudo-classes to our website, let's see how pseudo-elements work. In this list, we have a pseudo-element called before. This pseudo-element is used to place any content before the actual content of the element. So here we have our headings as h2 elements. Let's place any symbol before all these headings using the before pseudo-element. For this we will write h2 then double semicolon for pseudo-element syntax. Then we will write the name of pseudo-element which is before. Inside the curly brackets, we will write content as property. After content, you can add any content inside quotation marks. Here, I am going to add an emoji. You can add anything of your choice. You can see it adds that content before all h2 elements in our website. Isn't it cool? Now I am going to style the bullets of our lists using the marker pseudo-element. I have changed the color of all bullets and numberings to blue using a simple pseudo-element. Let's explore other pseudo-element which is placeholder. Placeholder is a text written inside input HTML form elements that tells user what to fill inside this box. Before styling placeholders, we should add some placeholder text in out contact form. You can add placeholder to an input field using placeholder attribute. By default, placeholder text looks like this. But we can style this text using the pseudo element called placeholder. Let's style it. Now it's your turn. Implement some more pseudo elements in your portfolio website and see how it works. Task number 1. Add a decorative line or emoji after every H2 heading using pseudo element after. Task number 2. Style the first letter of your About Us paragraph using pseudo element first letter. Make it bigger, bold, or colorful like a fancy magazine. Task number 3. Highlight the first line of your intro paragraph in the company section using pseudo-element first line. Try making it bold, italic, or changing the font style. In this video, we have learned what are pseudo-classes, some common pseudo-classes, what are pseudo-elements, and some common pseudo-elements. We have also implemented some in our portfolio website. In the next video, we will be covering last part of our CSS lesson, that is CSS animations and transitions. See you there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our exciting lessons.